So the Browns did something unexpected yesterday. They signed Kareem Hunt to a 2-year extension, which means on top of this year, they will have 2 more years of Kareem Hunt on top of Nick Chubb. Now, what does this mean for Nick Chubb? What does this mean for the salary cap situation? And what does this mean about Kareem Hunt? Well, let's talk about it. Real quick before we talk Kareem Hunt news, if you're new here, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload. I'm going to be uploading a ton of NFL content when it comes to this season, so make sure you have it locked in and that you're subscribed so you don't miss a single thing. So yeah, the Browns re-signed or signed Kareem Hunt to an extension that was about 2 years, $13.25 million, so about $6.5 million a year for Kareem Hunt. And if you would have asked me when the Browns signed Kareem Hunt in the free agency of 2018, would he be on the team 2 years later, let alone potentially 5 years later, I would have called you crazy because I thought he was a 1-year rental, was going to get a lot of money in the free agency market, and then you were probably going to get like a supplemental pick from him because of how much he signed. But that's not been the case for Kareem Hunt. Some hiccups here and there, minor hiccups, but hiccups nonetheless, have put him in a situation where a team wasn't going to risk the tender to get Kareem Hunt. And, you know, the Browns have really liked what he saw. And again, I really liked what we've seen from Kareem Hunt throughout camp, and they decided to lock that down for an extra couple of years. Now, this says a lot about Kareem Hunt. This says some things about Nick Chubb. This also says some things about the future salary cap situation. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what does it say about Nick Chubb? What's the future with Nick Chubb? Let's talk about that. So I saw the immediate reaction from people nationally that don't really follow the team or people who are fans of other team was, why did they sign their backup running back before their starting running back, and why are they taking care of their backup running back right now when they have Nick Chubb on the roster? Well, a couple of easy answers for that question. One, I think both of these running backs are going to be pivotal to this offense. Two, Nick Chubb's not eligible to be re-signed or extended yet. He's not in that part of his rookie deal. He will be eligible next year. I think the Browns can tender him, but I would expect the Browns to kind of extend Nick Chubb as well to a higher deal than this, but similar years. Or I see it very likely that they can also franchise tag Nick Chubb for that extra year that they have Kareem Hunt. Either way, in case of some kind of negotiation, some kind of holdout, the Browns have the insurance of having Kareem Hunt in there. Now, does this say anything about Nick Chubb as a player? Absolutely not. Nick Chubb's looked phenomenal in camp. I don't think the Browns were worried about Nick Chubb, so that's why they extended Kareem Hunt. I think it's a mutual agreement that Kareem Hunt wanted to be here, wanted to sign with the Browns for a little bit longer term than what he has, and that the Browns wanted to keep him here. And again, Kareem Hunt has been a great fit in this building. He's been great friends with Nick Chubb. Like, those two get along really well from all indications, and it seems like Kareem Hunt has found a home. Again, this is somebody who got in trouble for the most part when he was in Kansas City. One, for what he did off the field, but also because the Kansas City Chiefs did not want him to return to Cleveland. He could not stop returning to Cleveland. So this is a guy who was homesick his first few years in the NFL. This is a guy who really likes being in the city of Cleveland because he's from here, the Willoughby area. And this is a guy who has enjoyed his time with the Browns. And I think this extension kind of proves that. And what I think this says most about Nick Chubb is the selfless nature of that running back room. You know, since day one, these two were put in a position where they're two, ball dominant running backs, and you would think they would not get along or have problems splitting carries, but that's not been the case. These two have been eager, giddy almost, to share a backfield together. And I think for their long-term career, this is going to benefit them. You have two top-tier backs, which means you don't have to run them a million times, wear them out. You can save their legs, save their bodies. And this is something that they're going to value later on in their career. It's also something that Nick Chubb's going to greatly value later on in his career. So the people who are saying that this is some kind of issue for Nick Chubb, or that the Browns are kind of making Nick Chubb replaceable, I kind of scratch my head at that because it's never been the plan with Kareem Hunt. I think they're just realizing that they can lock down a top 10 running back in the NFL for about $6.5 million. And when you have that kind of an opportunity, you make sure you can take advantage of that opportunity. That's what the good franchises do. And that's another feather in the cap for Andrew Berry. Now, speaking of Andrew Berry, let's talk about some of the cap implications of this signing. Now, this deal will be up in about 3 years. So that's going to be the same time that Baker Mayfield's going to be up for his extension or his 5th year. And that's going to be the same time that Nick Chubb is either going to be franchised or kind of given a tender to extend him. I expect the Browns to at least do some kind of franchise tag with Nick Chubb in order to get that final year out of him. What this also says about the cap situation is that this cap situation, for better or worse, is set. I think this roster is set. I think the Browns are keying in on the next 3 years being their big Super Bowl window, right? If everything goes right, they're going to have to keep players on this team for the next 3 years. You got Jack Conklin for the next 3 years. You got Austin Hooper for the next 3 years. You got all your key players, Odell, Jarvis, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield, Myles Garrett, obviously. You have all of these young players, Denzel Ward, under contract for the next 3 years. This is their window. That's what the Browns are signaling, is that this is their push for a Super Bowl window. That doesn't mean that this year they should expect to win the Super Bowl, but this year is when that window opens up. And when you have a Super Bowl window, the most important thing isn't that you automatically win the Super Bowl, it's that you make the playoffs in order to have a chance to win the Super Bowl. So this is it for the Browns. This is what they're aiming for. We're close to the end game of this supposed rebuild, and this is the window that they're putting down to be their Super Bowl window. You're going to have Kareem Hunt. You're going to have Nick Chubb. You're going to have the core of this very talented roster for the next 3 years. This is it for the Browns. This season, next season, and the season after that, these are the 3 years that the Browns are really aiming to win it all, because this is when they have the opportunity, the cap space, and they don't have to be restricted or lose players because of cap situations. This is it for the Browns. This is the window. This is why they extended Myles Garrett early in the season. This is why they signed these guys to 3-year deals. This is the culmination of all of these plans. This is the final piece in that puzzle to keep this core of this offense together for the next 3 years. This also says something interesting about Kevin Stefanski, which I think this means that Kevin Stefanski has 3 years of job security to go along with that, because all of the smoke signals coming out from Berea say that these 3 years are the most important years, and I don't think they're going to mess around with the head coaching change in 2 or 1 year. I think they're going to wait it out, see what these next 3 years are, and evaluate where they are after that. Now, will they win the Super Bowl in the next 3 years? I have no clue if the Browns will do that. It seems crazy to think about. But again, this is it. This is the window. It's open now. This is the Browns' best chance since coming back in '99 to have an actual Super Bowl window. These next 3 years, it's up to the team to capitalize on that. Now, it's obvious I think this was a good deal, right? Kareem Hunt, for that little money, is a great deal. He's versatile. He can block. He can catch. He can run at an elite level. And you have Kareem. You have Nick Chubb in there, too. And again, I am thrilled to have that backfield for the next 3 years. I thought that was not going to happen. And again, let's make no mistake about it. Kareem Hunt took a massive discount to sign with Cleveland. I think he's going to have a breakout year this year, and I think what he could have gotten on the open market as a free agent this year, if he would have just let his 1-year deal expire after this season, would be astronomically higher than the $6.5 million he's going to get from this contract. Now, I understand why Kareem Hunt would be so open to giving this kind of a discount to get some long-term security. As a guy who's had a very uncertain last 2 years of his career, he probably just wants something stable and something steady, and this is what the Browns have offered him. Also, it says a lot about the organization. This is not the original team that brought in Kareem Hunt. John Dorsey brought in Kareem Hunt. The fact that this new organization has been able to win over Kareem Hunt, get the confidence of Kareem Hunt to the point to where Kareem Hunt's willing to take what is a discount in order to stay with the Cleveland Browns, to stay with the core of this roster, and to commit to what is a 3-year Super Bowl window when he is a running back in a position that doesn't usually get paid. That's significant. That says a lot about the confidence in this building of the front office and what they are building, the confidence in the coaching staff. I think this is a great sign heading into week 1 about where this team is mentally and what they look like behind the scenes. This is a great sign. So the fact that Kareem Hunt got signed here, it's a great sign about Kareem Hunt, the person. Again, in order to get this deal, he has had to impress so many people in that front office. And to his credit, he hasn't had many issues in Cleveland that were similar to what got him kicked out of Kansas City in the first place. So kudos to Kareem Hunt. He got that second chance. He made the best of it, and he really seemed sincere about making amends over the last few years, and he continues to do those things. So kudos to Kareem Hunt. I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see him to get this extension. This is a good, positive, nice, fun football story. And it's also something that's going to be extremely important for the Browns because, again, this is a major piece in the Browns' 3-year Super Bowl window. Now, this is all going to be dependent on Baker Mayfield being a good quarterback. But if Baker Mayfield can be a good quarterback, you definitely have a Super Bowl window. But it's set. This is what they're betting on. This roster core, the next 3 years, Super Bowl window. That's what this Kareem Hunt signing says to me about the Cleveland Browns' future. Let me know what you think it says about the Cleveland Browns' future down in the comment section below. But again, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a good night.